On the issue of medical interns striking, we saw them yesterday, Monday, 24th April 2023, trying to strike about two things which they aired out. One was about deployment, another one was increasing on their salary. However, we saw their move was intercepted by police as they were trying to march to Parliament to present their paper to the Speaker. The group which was gathered in the Mulago Guest House was prevented from holding a press conference, and we saw how they were brutally arrested. As Uganda Young Democrats, therefore, and Democratic Party, we condemn the way police of Uganda is handling these medical interns. The medical interns are very peaceful in the way how they are operating. We didn't see a medical intern with a stone trying to beat police. We didn't see any medical intern with a stick trying to beat police. But they were just going to present their issues to the Speaker of Parliament. Then we saw how the police intercepted them and brutally arrested them. We are calling upon Uganda Police that the issue of the medical interns is not only helping them as the interns or doctors, but it is also helping us as Ugandans. We are aware that in Uganda, the ratio of patients to doctors is 1 to 20,000, which is contrary to the ratio of the World Health Organization of 1 to 1,000. And we also know that in Ugandan hospitals, whoever goes there, it is these medical interns who work tirelessly better than the senior doctors. Because the senior doctors are now part-timers in our government hospitals just because of the good pay they get in the private hospitals. Now, it is now these medical interns who try to help the Ugandans who are always in these hospitals. On that very note, therefore, we are requesting Ugandan police to divert all that energy to the iron sheet thieves, all those who swindle the iron sheets. We are also requesting or appealing to the Ugandan police that your brothers and sisters, your sons and daughters, your friends and yourselves, they are going to find these medical interns in the hospitals in case their issues are handled the way they want them. As Ugandans, we understand the situation of Uganda, that most of the money always goes in the pockets of the few individuals. That's why actually Uganda is always always saying that doesn't have money. However, we are recommending government to handle this issue like the way it handled the teachers. We saw how the teachers were handled. We can handle the medical interns in a quarterly basis. We do understand you don't have money, but you can handle them in a quarterly basis, whereby you're saying maybe in the first quarter you're giving them 10% on what they are requesting. The second quarter, 10%. Third quarter, 30%. Then I think there the problem can be solved. But the problem cannot be solved by arresting them. Because now there we are now escalating the problem more. Because now currently the hospitals don't have doctors because they are not being deployed. On that very note, therefore, we know government is delaying to deploy these doctors because of the pay. But we doubt whether government can afford to get money to construct schools in Tanzania and construct roads in DRC, then fail to get the money to pay these medical interns. On that note, therefore, let us use the same avenue which we used to get money to construct roads in DRC and construct a school in Tanzania to try to cater for these medical interns because they are more important to the Ugandans. On the Kampala Pothole exhibition, we would like first of all to commend and thank Dr. Spire Sentong for the spirited fight of social media which he put forward, and he has now taken over the trend in social media. However, we are urging government, since now you have heard the voice of social media, we are now telling you that potholes are not only in Kampala, but they are all over the country. The reason why we are having serious potholes in some parts of Kampala and the country, it is because the way Uganda handles the issue of constructing roads. Uganda tolerates a lot of corruption. That's why actually we are having a lot of potholes. And currently these potholes can't only be fixed, but the roads require thorough construction, not just fixing them. Because some potholes are beyond being repaired, but we need a new road in those places. We saw the president actually giving us some 6 billion, which is a good gesture. But we are now telling him that this 6 billion is not enough to construct or even to maintain roads in Kampala. In Kampala alone, 1 kilometer, to construct 1 kilometer in Kampala, it takes around 9 to 15 billion shillings. So the 6 billion which you have given to KCCA, it is just a peanut to them. Actually, it is the amount which is used actually to make paperwork, but not to construct a road or to fix the road. However, we are urging Uganda to try to benchmark to the neighbors, because we have seen our neighboring presidents doing wonders in the few times they have spent in power. We saw President Uhuru Kenyatta, in the 10 years he spent in power of Kenya, he constructed 20,000 kilometers. We saw President Magufuli, the late, in Tanzania, he constructed 34,000 kilometers in 6 years. And now we are seeing President Museveni, in 38 years, he has only constructed 20,000 kilometers, which is not even more than, it is the same for 10 years. Now we are questioning Uganda. What is the problem? Where is the problem? Why do you think that for us who have been with one president for the last 38 years, we have less kilometers compared to those who have had presidents who have served for only six years? On that very note, therefore, let us try to handle corruption in construction of roads. Currently, UNDRA uses 5 billion to construct 1 kilometer. Why does KCCA use 9 billion to 15 billion to construct a kilometer? What is so special? Let us actually try to get a uniform figure for road construction. We know Uganda, it is a capital city. But the figure should be slightly that one of UNRWA. Either 7 billion or 6 billion. But not 12 billion or 15 billion. What is it for? Now, that is the problem why we are having less roads being constructed and maintained in Uganda. Because government thinks that it is very much expensive, yet it is not expensive, based on the current situation in Uganda. We are seeing that KCCA is given only 349 billion as their budget for Kampala. But now, once we compare this to the previous government of the other ED, we see that their budget even went up to 800 billion. What is the science between the two? Why did you give a lot of money to the previous ED and this one you're giving little money? Is it a deliberate move to fail her? Or it is your own motive, your own move to swindle other money? On that very note, we are seeing that actually State House is having around 400 billion, only State House. Then President's office is only consuming 200 billion. Should we say that actually State House is very much important than constructing the roads which are attracting more tourists, which are going to bring more money here in Uganda? We are calling upon government to consider what is becoming as a multiplier effect than what is becoming as a dependent to the Ugandans. I thank you so much. On the issue of South Sudan, we have heard that Uganda has repatriated some diplomats and key high-ranking leaders from Sudan. And it has also come to our notice that we have some Ugandans who ran out of Sudan and settled now in South Sudan. We are urging Ugandan government that the people who are caught up in Sudan, they are not only diplomats, but we also have some students who are still caught up there. We have some businessmen. We have some tourists and so many other Ugandans. And we know that Ugandan government has all the records of Ugandans who left Uganda to Sudan and came back. Uganda has also records of the Ugandans who left Uganda to Sudan and they are still there. We are therefore calling upon the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Ambassador of Uganda to South Sudan and Sudan to work hand in hand, first of all, to repatriate the Ugandans who are still stranded in South Sudan. Because as they were running to South Sudan, they left a lot of properties the other side. And right now, they don't have what to eat, they don't have where to sleep, so that they can be helped to come back to Uganda. And also, to get in touch with the Ugandans, more so the students who are still caught up in Sudan, to try to bring them back also to Uganda. Otherwise, if we concentrate on only diplomats, then we are leaving out most of the people in Sudan. The people caught up in Sudan are much more important also, like the diplomats and the high-profile officials which we have repatriated to Uganda. As the Democratic Party, we are kindly appealing to government, let us try to be fair to all Ugandans in Sudan, to treat them fairly, equally, like citizens of Uganda, and make arrangements so that they can come back